A new crafted defense season is upon us. On the 1st of August, the current builder-based defenses will rotate into the 3 Clashiversary defenses, and I have a clear favorite which I think will be the best. Now, this season is a little bit different because the crafted defenses will unlock at Town Hall 11. So I have some thoughts on this I will share, but you will be able to go into the defense section and you will see the crafting station, which you will be able to place, and then you can select one of the new crafted defenses. I will go through exactly how each of these work. However, at Town Hall 11, you will not be able to upgrade these. So essentially, they will be stuck at level 3 because you have 1 level per module and they start at level 1. Then you can upgrade each of them individually to level 10, meaning you have a crafted defense level of 30. There is, however, for each of the town halls, a module cap. So for Town Hall 11, it is level 1, as I've just shown. Town Hall 12 is level 2, and essentially it goes up 1 module per town hall, up to Town Hall 17, where your maximum is module cap level 7. So the total level of your crafted defense would be level 21. To get it up to level 30, that is where Town Hall 18 comes in, and that is where the bulk of the upgrade time is for these defenses. So when I first heard that this would be for Town Hall 11s, I gave feedback to the team that I didn't like it. I felt like the crafted defenses and the temporary content at the highest level was serving a purpose of allowing us at Town Hall 18 to have stuff to do, but other players could catch up through the town halls. Now we're giving temporary content to those lower level players and asking them to do more upgrades than is needed. I can understand the counter argument in freshening up the gameplay for those lower town hall levels as well, because you get new content at the next town hall level, but there's never anything truly fresh. And they have said this is just a test. They are going to see what this is like during the Clashiversary period, get the feedback from the community, and then decide moving forward if this is something they want to do. And I have a theory as to why they may be doing this as well. Not just because of the fun factor for the lower town halls, even though that is the primary reason. However, let's keep to the build times here first, because you will see that essentially at Town Hall 12, it's 18 hours for those 3 different modules, and then your crafted defense is maxed. And it doesn't really increase that drastically. 3 days at Town Hall 14. Yes, if you want all 3 of the defenses maxed, that would be 3 days for each, but with 3 separate builders, 3 days, like whatever. You can't use the builders on anything else, though, granted, if you're upgrading this. Town Hall 17, it does go up to 12 days, but that's still nothing compared to the Town Hall 18, where the bulk of the time is, where it's 67.5 days. Looking at the cost, whilst each module upgrades with a different currency, gold elixir or dark elixir, for the lower town hall levels, if you're super active and the gold and elixir is like not a big deal for you, then I would say if you're pushing in ranked, definitely try and upgrade some of these, because the time to max it really isn't that pivotal, and I do think they will help you in your ranked defenses. But I am curious to see how this goes, because I think for a lot of casual players that are in those middle town hall ranges, they might not realize this is temporary content. So you will earn Sparky Stones. You'll not really be able to get anything in the fancy shop yet. They have said they're looking to expand the fancy shop in the future, but with it being Clashiversary, they just wanted to test this out, get feedback, see if it's something that the players would enjoy, and I am super interested to see how it goes as well, because if it's well received, then it is a good way of getting new content to those lower town hall players as well. Onto the defenses themselves then. We have the Hot Candle, the Hero Hunter, and the Cake-A-Pult, all for Clashiversary, and they all attack ground and air, which I think is really interesting, because what we have seen in the previous crafted defense season is the lava launcher was by far the best, and because it was so devastating against ground attacks but didn't attack air attacks were so much stronger. And we even seen that in a previous season with the Crusher Mortar as well. So I think it's interesting that we have all of the defenses attacking ground and air, so even if there is one that is stronger than the others, it doesn't flip the ground versus air meta, and they don't have to worry about balancing specific crafted defenses. They're only here for a couple of months, so they don't want to continue messing around with balancing them. However, let's begin with the Hot Candle. This one is a little technical because essentially when the battle starts, the candle is lit, and it will actually only last for 132 seconds at the maximum level. After that, it runs out of ammo, just like we used to have with like Inferno Towers. The timer for the hot candle will actually start when the first building is destroyed. It was supposed to be when the attack starts, but there was a bug. However, in a future update, they will fix it, and the hot candle will then decay from the start of the attack. Now, it has a 10.5 tile radius, but it acts a little bit like the multi-archer tower. If there's only one target in its range, it will fire at that one target and deal all of the damage to that. It can fire, though, up to 6 targets, but it will split the damage. So it's not always beneficial for you to have that damage split. Equally, this is a bugbear of mine if you've been watching the interviews over on the second channel. It's not mentioned in the UI here, but it will actually have 3 different phases. So from the 60-second to the 78-second mark, it can actually only fire up to 4 targets. And then from the 95th second through to the 132nd second, when it will then deactivate after that, it enters another phase where it can only attack up to 3 targets. I found the hot candle could be very powerful if you could get it to target a single unit, for example, in a hero charge. But even with modifiers, the multiple targets dealt a lot of damage because the hot candle attacks very quickly as well. So I could definitely see this defense being a one that people choose to use. However, let's move across. That is the hot candle. It's not my favorite. I am actually going to save my favorite for last, which is the hero hunter. Look at that with the headhunter sitting on top of that. It is going to be very, very powerful. However, the Cake-A-Pult can be powerful. It really depends on what you're attacked with, so it's a little bit hit and miss. It acts a little bit like a mortar, but just way more powerful. So it has a dead zone, 3 tiles, but then will go up to 12 tiles. So the range is from 3 to 12, and it has that initial damage per hit, but it also deals explosion damage. This is where you can get really good value, because if you have slow-moving troops that are stuck on a wall, if they're ground troops, or remember, this attacks air and ground. If you're stuck on a bunch of high hit point storages, then you can be taking a lot of damage if your troops are clumped together and are stuck there for a significant amount of time. So I feel like this one is a little bit hit and miss as to if you'll get that good value. You could get really good value if they are clumped together and stuck, or if the troops are spread out and can get to this easily, it's really not going to provide that much damage. However, my favorite crafted defense for this upcoming season, by far, and this is the one I would recommend, is the Hero Hunter. And I would recommend this for a few reasons. Firstly, you can notice the Headhunter firing cards at the enemy heroes. It will use its range of 9.5 tiles to target heroes. It will fire past troops to hit the heroes. And it acts just like a headhunter. It not only deals a lot of damage, it poisons the heroes to slow them down. And with heroes being so pivotal, that could make or break your attack. If you force a hero ability to go off, or you take the hero down altogether, it's make or break. And this is something that can be hard to counter as well. And what you want to do with defenses is kind of lean into the ones that can force your attacker to trip up, especially when it comes to crafted defenses. Think about the Hook Tower. The very first crafted defense season, it felt like it could be easily countered. But because it takes players a little while to get used to adjusting to certain defenses with their army, you can easily lose your hero to this. And that's why I think it is the most powerful, because think about it. Even if you drop a totem spell right next to the Hero Hunter defense, it's going to do nothing, because it will target the heroes when they get in range. So you have to freeze it or turn your heroes invisible. So Warden charges, you do have that little bit more range, but with the Monolith Arrow, Queen charges are becoming way more popular. Definitely going to be difficult versus the Hero Hunter, but even if you're using an air attack flying through the base, this could lock onto your Grand Warden or your Minion Prince and take them down as they're merged in with your dragons very quickly. So it will be interesting to see how the meta develops, since we have 3 defenses that target both ground and air, but I just think having that trip up factor of the Hero Hunter is why I will be upgrading that defense. Let me know what you think down in the comments, though, especially about these being for Town Hall 11 and above as well. I can understand why people would like that. Yesterday, I released episode 2 in a mini-series getting to Legend 1, so if you want to see me being frustrated and celebrating at the same time, that is a great video to check out. We put a lot of work into it. I used a high-risk strategy to try and get promoted. I'm sure you will like that one, and enjoy the rest of your day.